It's absolutely fascinating, the numbers who are attending.
Please listen to this next piece, guys.
Do you see that you're perhaps a fellow traveller with the SNP when it comes to anti-austerity, anti-trial?
Now we're going to find out what he really thinks about us.
Confidence and supply agreement with the SNP at Westminster if Labour were in power. In some ways, you seem a lot more at ease with the SNP.
No, I'm not a fellow traveller, because I think there are problems with some of the SNP economic agenda. There's problems over the privatisation of CalMac, there's problems over the issues of ScotRail, but there's also issues about, if you go for total fiscal autonomy, what then happens to the Barnett formula, whatever happens to any changes in the Barnett formula that may well be necessary.
Do you want to get rid of the Barnett formula?
No, I don't. What I want to do is ensure that it is reasonable and fair. It may need to be adjusted and tweaked in some way, but
listen to this guy. He's a unionist.
Poverty and inequality wherever they exist, and that's exactly the point I was making in both of the very big public events that we've done today.
But you see the groundswell of public opinion in Scotland, the 56 SNP MPs. Would you support a second independence referendum?
Listen to this.
At the moment, that is not on the agenda anywhere, so far as I know.
Did you see him stumbling?
It's very much on the agenda here, Mr. Corbyn.
Well, yes, indeed, but I was told by the leaders of the SNP that this was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity.
Piss off!
There's going to be another independence referendum. If there is another independence referendum, that'll be a decision that's got to be made by both the UK Parliament and the Scottish Parliament. There will then be that referendum if it takes place. But in the meantime, the powers that have been devolved to the Scottish Parliament are there to be used.
Do you notice how he body swerved that?
Welfare are there to be used to oppose the Tory welfare agenda and try and bring about some degree of improved social justice for the very poorest and most vulnerable in Scotland.
Don't be fooled by this, guys.
The powers that we've got at the moment, and see if we can't make things a bit better.
And just finally, Mr. Corbyn, do you think the Labour Party will survive under your leadership? Do you think there could be a split?
I've been in the Labour Party all my life, and I've been through many discussions and many debates. I'm Labour through and through. That's my life. Is there going to be a split? No. Why should there be? Why should there be? We have a democratic election in which over 500,000 people are able to take part.
God.
Whoever is elected leader, and I've no idea who it's going to be, has a mandate to encourage our party to examine itself, to restructure itself, but above all, to challenge the economic agenda, which is one of fundamental inequality in our society and causing the poorest and most vulnerable to pay for the excesses of the bankers in 2008, and we're still paying that price.
Jeremy Corbyn, thank you very much for joining us this evening.